Tonight, NBC5 Investigates has learned that 17 members of El Chapo's family have defected here to the U.S.
Now, several law enforcement sources have told our investigative reporter, Chuck Gowdy, that this unusual arrangement is all part of a plea deal in Chicago involving one of the drug lord's sons. Chuck Gowdy joining us now with late details on this story. Chuck?
Stephen, Allison, with the U.S. sending tens of thousands of Mexican citizens out of the country, tonight we have a story of why the Justice Department is paving the way for 17 relatives of drug kingpin El Chapo Guzman to come into the country from Mexico. Chapo's kin tonight essentially defecting for their own safety as part of a guilty plea deal in Chicago by one of the drug lord's sons. The 17 relatives of Joaquin El Chapo Guzman coming across the border with jam-packed roller bags, some filled with thousands in U.S. currency, according to U.S. authorities. Family members converging last Friday here at the border crossing from Tijuana to San Ysidro in Southern California. This woman among the group, Guadalupe Lopez Perez, one of Chapo's ex-wives, and the mother of Chapo's sons, Ovidio Guzman and Joaquin Guzman Lopez. Both of Chapo's sons being held here in Chicago on major drug trafficking charges. As NBC5 Investigates reported last week, Ovidio Guzman has cut a deal with prosecutors at the Dirksen Federal Building and is scheduled to plead guilty in July. Several current and former federal sources who asked not to be named tonight tell NBC Chicago that the immigration of these 17 Chapo relatives, including a sister, were part of the deal that resulted in Ovidio's guilty plea. The government's immigration red carpet for kin of a drug dealer may come at a high price for Ovidio Guzman. His cooperation against other Sinaloa drug cartel officials who are in custody here. The exodus of El Chapo's blood relatives is a clear sign that they feared retaliation in Mexico, and their defection may signal an unexpected end to the family's decades-long reign atop a cartel that has long controlled 80% of Chicago's illicit street drugs.
Let me be direct. To the leaders of the Sinaloa cartel, you are no longer the hunters. You are the hunted.
Federal authorities in California declining to discuss Chapo's family at the border or his son's Chicago plea deal. But authorities did show off tons of cocaine, heroin, and fentanyl seized from the Sinaloa cartel, some stashed in cartel work cars. And they announced the indictment of 7 alleged Sinaloa cartel operatives, some, they say, connected to Chapo's sons now jailed in Chicago. The men being held in California tonight are charged with narco-terrorism, a new component of President Trump's Take Back America initiative that elevates drug traffickers to the level of terrorists. NBC Chicago asked the U.S. Attorney and the FBI here to discuss the defection of Chapo kin, and officials at both agencies declined.
Chuck Gowdy on the story for us tonight. Chuck, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
What's happening, family? It is your man, CRB Jr., here with Mr. Lewis Stevens. What's up, brother?
What up, man?
Everything?
Man, everything is indeed everything.
You've been awful busy.
I have been the Dunkin' Donuts guy, bumping into myself.
Okay, if you guys are not checking out some of the stuff Lewis doing with animation, bringing some of these stories to life,
yes,
make sure you go over to our Patreon channel, which is
patreon.com/Big Boss Filmworks.
Obviously, you can check it out also on the main station here.
Yeah.
We're also over on Facebook and we're on Instagram. Speaking of, we just hit another milestone here. So again, thank you to everybody.
Thank you.
We do appreciate the support. You know, we are the train that won't stop. We keep chugging along. And again, we just hit another milestone on the platform. So we want to thank you guys all. And with that said, please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Thousands of you guys watch us, but don't hit that subscribe button.
That's right.
And it really, really helps the algorithm. Please keep sending your comments. I know we've fallen a little bit behind. We will catch up and respond. We appreciate the comments. We appreciate the support. And again, we're about to do really some next level stuff with the content, intellectual property we got. Brother Lou, if you guys, when you check out, like the Eddie Jackson versus John Claxton thing, he's got some other stuff coming out. It's next level. Really, I don't see anybody else in our space doing it. So yeah, check it out. Yeah, believe me, yeah. Search the Eddie Jackson versus John Claxton.
He was a hell of a hustler in his day, but too slick for his own good. That's a lesson to be learned for you two. Don't forget that shit. Don't be nickel slick. When you get money, keep your mind on the money.
It's really short, a 3-piece series, but it's slamming. And if you've got some questions about like the origin of the Eddie Jackson legacy in 5-6 minutes with animation, you really get how the fat man got off zero and got his thing going. But so beyond that, you got animation going on the channel.
I got the Beyond Street Dreams documentary in production.
And with that said, you was dealing with one of our colleagues, so let's give a shout out to Mr. Knowles.
Yes, KK, big up. We got boots on the ground May 31st, and I will drop all the information in the descriptions. And right above the screen, we'll be putting a extended trailer. I was just out there today with KK, and
Shout out to the homie.
oh yeah, I was out there with him and his partner from Karaoke Conglomerate, Kelly, and we put together one hell of a piece. You'll get a chance to see it right here on Big Boss Filmworks.
All right. And shout out to the rest of the family out there. Shout out to Brother Pap. Again, great book, Bound by Honor, Torn by Greed. Also, shout out to Brother Skip Mongo and the whole Mongo family.
Yes.
Shout out to Brother Cavario, author of Raised by Wolves. Shout out to, again, some of these a lot of these people who be in the upcoming project. Shout out to Brother Eddie Folks, godfather of techno music. Me and Jimmy Coleman were just together with some of our Shrine alumni. You guys got to get this whole thing tied in together. Shout out to the Childs brothers, Kevin and Tony. Yes. Great book by them also, The Crack Era. So, we here around these parts, we believe in not hating, but congratulating. And a lot of people from our world are still doing some very interesting, compelling things.
Yes. Big up to Vano.
Big out to Vano. I got to catch up to Vano. What up,
Vano
family?
just started a new venture.
So we talking about Vano as in Vano's
Apparel.
a barrel right there on Davison between Linwood and Dexter. He's been a staple of the neighborhood. Me and Vano put it down. That was in 04 on Dexter at 1301 Dexter at back in them days known as Gear Unlimited.
Yes.
And then, he stretched out around the corner with the Neiman Marcus of the hood there at Vano's shop.
Yes, indeed.
And he stretched out a little bit more. He got Blazing Hookah.
Hookahs.
So what else Brother Vano got going?
Brother Vano has started a tow truck company. It is called YN Towing. I don't have the number right here, but I am going to put that in the descriptions.
Vano's always been a really smart guy.
He's industrious, man.
He's industrious. He's from that era when being a hustler did not necessarily mean criminality, although that could be a part of your hustle. But being a hustler just meant I go get mine.
You just go right, exactly.
I go get mine.
Yeah,
and I'm not prejudiced. I'm not prejudiced against any of the hustle because I'm a hustler.
That's right. That's right.
And
long live the hustle is
long live the hustle. Shout out to Kayla over there at part of the Vino family. Shout out to Brother Bow Wow and everybody over there on Dexter. Shout out to the homie though, Halal Cafe, Brother Ak.
Yeah.
Man,
that salmon in the morning, that salmon and grits.
I gotta get back on the block. I gotta
Delicious.
get back on the block. And a shout out if you listen, Brother Robert Hawkins, another legend from this town, had a big case back in the day. He reached out to me. If he wants to, I'm gonna reach back out to Brother Hawkins. Because he's got also another compelling story. One of the few really of the big Detroit stories that has not been covered.
Okay.
$1 million found in his house back in the day out in Wabeek. He was a hustler's hustler. Did time with Pops. up in Milan. So, you know, with Pop getting older, he had reached out and we caught up. And then also on that note, shout out to the whole Bobo family down there in Memphis. You know, Pops, for those who know, you know, he had a little health issue. He's definitely on the mend. And to James and Bill and Prince and the whole Bobo family, you guys reaching out and showing your concern. It's much appreciated by him and by our entire family. So always a class act, the Bobos out of Memphis. Yeah. So with that,
yes.
Speaking of the life.
The life indeed.
El Chapo.
The big fella.
The big fella. Well, and we're going to talk about whether he was a big fella or not.
That's
a relative
term.
A relative term.
The struggle is relative.
For we on the corner, he was a big fella.
Absolutely.
He was the plug's plug.
He was the plug's plug.
In the big chessboard, in the grand game, as they used to say in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
In the great game.
He was a rook.
Yeah, at best.
He was a rook.
At best, heading towards a pond.
All day.
But Mr. El Chapo Guzman is now, who is right now in Florence, ADX, maximum security. He made the news again because 17 members of his family just entered into the United States. Seemingly, according to the authorities, take it with a grain of salt, that this is a part of a plea deal that his sons, who are also facing some significant time, but it looks like a good old-fashioned mass cop-out where, at least my take on it is, you guys get to keep your money. We don't have time to chase you guys. Another big member of the Sinaloa Federation, is it really? We call it cartel, but that's not what they call themselves. They call themselves the Sinaloa Federation. A federation is just a group of guys. El Chapo in Sinaloa, he wasn't called the head of the Sinaloa cartel or the head of the Sinaloa Federation. He was one of many bosses, and El Mayo, another boss of the Federation, his sons cooperate. It's getting real messy down there. His sons helped the feds, basically set up El Mayo. You know, you guys can go into that. Our friend Al Prophet, if you go over to his platform on American Dope, Al does some deep dive stuff on that whole. Yes. Al loves that kind of stuff on that. But he did some great work on that whole El Mayo, El Chapo's sons thing. How they got him. So it seems to me, Lou. And you know, as a historian, guys, to give you guys some context, those enough my age, a little bit younger, even a little bit, definitely those older, will remember that in the 80s, when the Medellin cartel and Pablo Escobar and Carlos Leader and Ochoa and Gacha and all the big guys down in Medellin, they were the face of the cocaine plague, and they were the problem. And of course, you know, all of this has been documented in Netflix series Narcos and Griselda, and you know, so everybody, you know, these guys are now in rap music, you know. But what that was a situation where the powers that be who really run this thing, who ain't these other guys who own banks and political officials and military people, they're so high up on the ladder that I know you guys don't even think they really exist, right? And I get that, and that's because these guys are really, really smart and been at it for a really, really long time. And the masses aren't supposed to think that they exist.
Absolutely.
The people are supposed to believe that El Chapo is the reason why there's cocaine in your neighborhoods, even though El Chapo's been in jail and for a couple of years now, and cocaine production globally is higher than it's ever been.
Yes.
That somehow Escobar getting killed in Colombia, and we were talking off camera. You know, all his other buddies, Ochoa, Gacha, and all of them, like they got amnesty pleas, guys. So we're trying to pack the same people that were supposedly the worst people in the world. When it was all said and done, the U.S. government and Colombian governments gave them amnesty, said you guys got to do 3-4 years. You get to keep your billions. Now they're all legitimate businessmen in Colombia and Spain, and their grandkids, nobody even knows that their granddads were quote unquote
Big dope man.
The biggest of the dope
The
men,
biggest of the big,
right?
the baron, the coke barons.
So to bring it up to speed now, El Chapo's first wife,
Okay.
the mother of his 2 sons, the ones that just caught their case, she was a part of the 17 that just came over.
Okay.
His youngest wife just came home because she had to cop out, do 3 years, get to keep all her money. She was just on Instagram last year in Miami turning up after she got out the Fed joint, right?
That's right. That's the one that started the clothing company.
They got to 848, which is the super kingpin statue, 848, 849. So like Pops and Eddie back in the day, they were charged with 848s. Frank Matthews ran out the country because he was charged with an 848. Meech and T took their plea to avoid an 848 charge because 848 is super kingpin status, which means mandatory life, no possibility of parole.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
So yeah, El Chapo and them have a line of, his family has a line of clothing called 848. And I just bring this all up to try to bring some perspective on that our community really's got to realize that whether it's Freeway Ricky, whether it's YBI, whether it's BMF, whether it's Eddie and Courtney, whether it's Demetrius, whether it's Kevin Childs, dude, we were just pawns at best in so much larger game.
Your father say we was ham thieves.
Was ham thieves. And you know, and the corruption is so high. So shout out to the brother GQ, former Detroit narcotics officers. There's a lot of cops who are really actually thinking that they're trying their best to what they believe to be keeping neighborhoods safe.
Right.
We were joking off camera about the D agents that took that money from me when I was in my 20s in Miami on my way to the Bahamas. But those D agents knew what time it was. They're looking, they know the level of corruption. And so, whether it's, we see the corruption that we pay off, Eddie Baby paying off the 5th precinct to allow us to roll on French Road. That is not even in the big scope of things, guys. That's not even corruption.
Nah, that's just oils in the cog.
Right?
That's it.
That money he was paying the people on the 5th precinct to let us roll on French Road, that don't even count. His old man back in the day,
right,
paying the Hancock police station for heads up. No, the corruption, this, to quote Wesley Snipes' character, Nino Brown in New Jack City, this thing bigger than Nino Brown.
Right?
It's a great scene if you guys ever pay attention. At the end of New Jack City, when the Wesley Snipes character is ranting and raving, he pulls out, he's like, look, I ain't going down by myself. I know the Colombians, I know the Dominicans.
And big up to Dr. Carl Taylor, who did some work on New Jack City with the late, rest in peace, Barry Cooper.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Dr. Taylor, just a jewel of our community.
Absolutely.
First-class scholar, intellectual. On that note, if you check out Motown Mafia, the award-winning documentary available on Amazon Prime, on Tubi TV, on Pluto TV, you'll get a chance to see Dr. Taylor. He did some great work, and we will always be appreciative of his contribution to that project, because many of the things we're talking about now, Dr. Taylor's quote, I think, that stands out from Motown Mafia when Dr. Taylor says, I'm not condoning what Eddie Jackson and his type do.
Right.
I'm just saying that there are many on that playing field.
Yeah.
And again, Dr. Taylor's insights are, are priceless. So yeah, that's our spin on that thing. The saga continues. It seems that there's going to be some new people put in charge of the situation in Mexico. I assume part of the nice treatment that El Chapo is receiving is that he will use his knowledge of the situation to make, because newsflash, I can tell you what ain't going to stop happening. The drugs ain't going to stop coming across the border.
You better know it.
That's what ain't going to happen. But it seems that just like the powers that be got tired of Pablo and Gotcha and Leader in Medellin, and then they moved it over to Cali, and then they got tired of the Cali cartel, and then some called Colombia disappeared off the media radar when it came to the quote-unquote war on drugs, even though the drugs still come from there.
That's right.
And then it was all about Mexico, and it seems that they want some new people to run the show in Mexico. The deal is pretty much standard. You guys keep the money you got, go away. We got some new people we want.
That's right. Yeah, definitely. And names you will probably never hear.
For sure. And I know, see, it's bad because, see, for us, Negroes in the urban city of America who are involved in this life, we never get that deal. Just keep your money and go away.
That's right.
We got somebody else to run the projects. Because, you know, if they'd gave us that deal, I think, you know, I would have been back in the day in 95, and they'd have said, you know, why don't y'all let somebody else run French Road? We want somebody else to run French Road. You guys keep what you got and just go away.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Now, in fairness to the authorities, they do say that. They just don't say that.
Yeah.
They be like, you know, you ain't got locked up yet. Y'all probably should keep what you got and go ahead on. Let somebody else. It's somebody else's turn. Yeah.
Shortly, somebody else is going.
Because you guys are on the clock.
TikTok, motherfucker.
TikTok, motherfuckers. Facts.
That's right.
So yeah, we just wanted to chime in on that, and again, thank you guys all for the support and everything.
Yeah, big up to everybody. Every comment, every like, every share, and yeah, I don't see a whole lot of sharing. So go ahead, share the videos if you feel them.
Yeah, and any questions? I know there was a comment. I really haven't forgot. There was a guy, Jimmy Walker, out of Milwaukee. You guys wanted us to do something on. We're gonna get to that. Somebody asked about Redbird out of Royal Oak Township. You know, if I want to do it, I need to take the time to actually do it. We got a lot on our plate, so I just haven't been able to do the research. But I'm gonna reach back out to Skip and get some more information on some of those guys you guys asked about out of the township. And then I just got to do a little bit of work. I think somebody asked about the Boogie guys down in Miami.
Okay.
I'll go back in the archive. So I do pay attention, as you see. So in anything else going on with the world, you know, the whole world is a crime scene. So our world, or our old world, is always tied into the new world and what's going on today, because the game don't change. Just the names and the faces.
And the players, that's it.
That's it, because the game, to quote Marlo Stansfield from The Wire,
The game always.
the game is just the game.
That's right.
So, anything else? We got, again, hit the like, share, subscribe. Book also available on Amazon, Motown Mafia, Memoirs of a Kingpin's Kid.
Yes, absolutely.
Right in back.
That's
there.
right.
Also, shout out to Brother Ray Tatum.
Karen knocks out cancer. My mother's 33-year-old survival story. Check it out. It's on Amazon as well.
Awesome. Yeah, great book. The Indomitable Human Spirit. Mind Right, Money Right, Getting Off Zero. Collaboration between me and Brother Ray Tatum out of Atlanta, Getting Off Zero. Motivational book. We were talking about Masa Musa long before it was fashionable. We were talking about going back to Africa and going where the gold is. Shout out to Captain Torre over there in Africa. But long before Africa was trending online, we was putting it out. Check it out, also available. And on Kindle, a little fictional read. Thinking about doing some things.
Yes.
News alert.
Yes,
Big Man on Campus, fictional account of my college days. So, Amazon Kindle. So you can get that digitally, and everything else you can get on Amazon, digitally or paperback. So.
And one more thing before we go. You mentioned you saw the film Sinners. What's your take on that movie?
You know, I don't need to do a whole episode on that. But I thought it was the best movie that I probably have seen 5-6 years. I'm trying to think the last time I saw a movie. I'm a science fiction nerd, so I love Dune.
Yeah.
I love the two Dunes, but this the brother who did that, And what I will say, Michael B. Jordan,
Yeah.
I had always kind of followed his work. I'd seen all the Creed trilogies.
Yeah,
I'd
since The Wire.
Seen him in a bunch of stuff. But I have a whole different level of respect for him and his craft after you. Go see The Brother. It deserves, you don't need me to tell you, it's been #1 at the box office for the last 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
But they are saying so much about so many different things. And it's oversaid, but the way they portray us in our culture as it is, or as it was, straight no chaser. And that was really refreshing. They don't candy coat our culture and how we do things, but they give it to it real, and it's a point of pride. I think anyone who sees it, especially younger people, who didn't grow up around some Jim Crow people.
Right on.
You knew your grandparents.
Yeah.
They were from the Jim Crow era.
Yes.
People my age were raised by people who come out of Jim Crow. But a lot of our youth don't get that, don't know about the Big Mama stuff, don't know about why we behave the way we behave and worldviews. So no, it's just a great movie. Get a Brother, and it was directed by a brother.
Big up to Ryan Coogler.
He did his thing. They tell me he's going to actually get a nice bag out the deal, so that's refreshing.
Yeah, definitely. He has been rumored. You spoke of Mansa Musa, and that's what made me think about it. It's rumored that he is supposed to do the biopic on Mansa Musa.
That would be awesome, because definitely historical. Those who don't know, West African king took some 60,000 people to Mecca in the year 1325. By all mathematical accounts, the richest man that ever lived. The man gave away so much gold that he made gold worthless.
That's right.
Literally.
That's
this
right.
black man, Mansa Musa. So he's got a story that needs to be told.
All day.
And if the brother who did Sinners is running the point on that, that would be fitting.
That's what's up.
That would be fitting. I doubt if it will happen, because to quote Tyler Perry, our movies ain't always appreciated by those people, those other kind of people. So I don't know if Michael B. Jordan's gonna get any action at the Oscars.
Yeah. I mean,
But-
you would come to expect, but the critical acclaim, the backing behind this film, I have yet to see it, so I'm not going to speak too much about it. But just looking at the press and everything, I mean, it could happen, but if not, it's still a huge win.
No, it's a big W. I mean, again, and I'm not one of those people. I am the opposite of those people that think we need the Oscars and some people
Validation.
from validation. I mean, because to be honest, I think anybody from any race, any demographic, any income level could see it and be entertained.
You had the best analogy from what you told me that really made me want to see it even more. You said it was a vampire.
It's a vampire movie, but it ain't got nothing really to do with vampires. And it has a lot to do with vampires, but that's how high level this brother did it. It was that you need what vampires do to be able to convey some of the storylines he's trying to. And I don't want to be a spoiler alert, but
Spoiler-free review here.
Spoiler-free review here, and but just to show you the impact, I was just on YouTube, and they were interviewing Chinese who did business back in Mississippi back in the day.
Yes.
So it's permeated the whole culture. So yeah, we got to support one another. Again, we here at Big Boss Filmworks, we do not hate. We congratulate. Because all that goofy. Can't never say nothing good about people who look like us. We don't do that in these parts.
Because those who throw shade always throw shade where the sun shines brightest.
Always. So I appreciate it. In fact, y'all need to do some more hate, because they tell me that Courtney Jr. Voodoo Doll sales are down. So I got to get back and do more work. So y'all got more.
There you go.
But for all those who do the right thing, again, we appreciate it and we love you.
Yeah, much love.
So we good?
We good.
All right, it's your man, CRB Jr., Motown Mafia Podcast, episode 78 with partner in crime, partner in life, brother Big Lou Stevens. Shout out. Y'all need to holler at your man.
Hi, my name is Alexander K. I'm the creator of Keeping It 100 Grown Folks Talking on Facebook.
And I'm DJ Kelly D. I'm one of the hottest karaoke hosts that's here in Michigan. And we partnered up so that we could do a family fun day.
That's right. Boots on the ground. Detroit boots on the ground. May the 31st. But before May the 31st, we have a launch party, fish fry, and chicken. Who don't eat fish, you can have chicken. A launch party that's going to be held on the 30th, that Friday, May the 30th, at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock.
5 to 9 p.m.
About 5 to 9 p.m.
And give them the address.
It's 15630 West 7 Mile, right behind the Burger King, 7 Mile in Greenfield.
Yeah, so make sure you come out. This is for the adults. Everybody that purchased the ticket, wants to purchase a ticket, come down, you eat for free. But if you don't want to purchase a ticket, you still can come down and eat, but it'll cost you $10.
Yeah, it's free, but it'll cost you $10.
Absolutely.
Come on out and support. If you don't want to go to the to the boots on the ground,
Fun day.
Fun day. Come on out and just support us.
And let me just say this. It's not just the boots on the ground.
That's right.
That's just a famous song that came out with the fans, the hats, and the boots. But we are actually here, as you can see, at the barn with the horses that you'll be able to ride on that family fun day. So it is a family fun day. Bring the kids, and that is May 31st, Saturday, May 31st.
From 11 a.m. to 7 p.m.
And then keep in mind, we have everything available here for you. Horse riding, vendors. We got food vendors, vendors that's providing free information. We'll shout out those at the end so you can see who all's going to be here. We have carnival games, karaoke, line dancing. We got the 10-screen video game truck.
Wow.
We're going to do...
Did you say something about sack racing?
Sack racing. I'm getting in on that sack racing. This won't be the one time you're going to see me rolling around in the grass, but I'm getting in that sack.
I know that's right. I won't just be patting the horses.
Okay.
All right. But what else we got going on? They're going to give us a little show too here, right?
Yes, that's right. They are going to get on those horses and ride around and do some tricks and sweet things that you don't get to see every day. Mm-hmm. So you definitely want to come. Kids 5 and under are free.
That's right.
And we happen to get some sponsors, so those ticket prices are very reasonable.
For the tickets?
$10 for kids, $20 per adult. And this is an all-day event, so make sure that you get your ticket in advance.
Here's the tickets right here. Boots on the ground. Hit me up. You can hit me up at 313-405-5205. Anytime. Just hit me up. $20 for adults and $10 for kids. Like she said, under 5 is free.
Yes, and if you want to purchase your tickets on Eventbrite, you can also go to Eventbrite and partake of the same price special. Or you can come to my page, DJ Kelly Davis, on Facebook or Instagram, and come get your ticket. Ways to support small business owners. One way you can support us with this event, again, it's a family fun day event, is by participating as a vendor. You can, again, message us through Eventbrite, or you can go to AK Newell at facebook.com. Or also Keeping It 100 Grown Folks Talking, and send us a message. Let us know you want to participate as a vendor, or if you want to just volunteer to support that event that day, make sure you get in contact with us.
And we out of here. And we hope to see you Friday and Saturday. But we hope to see you one of those days.
Absolutely.
of both of those days.
We want to see both of those days.
That's right. That's right.
We never worried about getting caught by the local or state authorities. Our fear was always federal conspiracy case, not even really a possession case. You weren't going to catch us with it. If the local cops can catch you, you're not very good, because the only people the local cops catch are people who are advertising they're doing wrong. But you got to understand that the level Pop and them was playing at, they wake up in the morning thinking about how to get away with their hustle. They go to bed at night thinking about how to get away with their hustle. They spend all afternoon rehearsing and going over how to get away with their hustle. It's not a hobby.
Beyond Street Dreams. Documentary coming soon.